Hey, it's Luke Miller here from potentialforchange.com. Big massive thank you for coming along to watch this video. I appreciate your time and presence, and I'm answering another question today, and this question comes from someone called Buana. I hope I'm getting the name right. I did actually look up on Google at the name Buana, and there was a few videos with pronunciation, and that was the one that kind of stood out and it felt right. But upon looking up the name Buana, it was really interesting because the name translated as in Sanskrit to mean development, and that kind of answers the question that is about to be asked, which I found really kind of like synchronistic and symbolic. So the question is, we all have certain patterns in our life of love, experiences, success, failure, and our responses to these situations. Is it possible to change that pattern, or do we continue to live with the patterns because it's who we are at our core? And I think there are different types of behaviour. You know, there are different types of patterns, there are different types of things. So to take it back to when we're born, you know, when we're born, we come here on earth, we have the soft tops on our head, you know, we are channels of pure light, we're pure love, we don't have conditions, you know, babies don't have conditions, they need to be cared for, but they're like beings of unconditional love, you know. And then as we get older, the top hardens, and we start to forget, you know, like why we came here, what we're doing here, and all this kind of stuff, you know. And then as this happens, a process of conditioning starts, you know. And it's very rare that this conditioning doesn't happen, especially in the Western world. No matter how conscious your parents are or the people who bring you up, it's very, very hard not to pass on things that are not necessarily us at our core, you know, because we have, as I said, we're like these beings of pure light, and we have very little stuff, you know. And then it's like, if you look at the way the world is structured, you know, if you look at like the decisions you make, like the sports team you like, or, you know, your favourite show on TV, or your favourite hobby, or whatever it might be, chances are you came across that through someone else, or, you know, through some kind of conditioning. Be it a positive experience or a negative experience, doesn't matter. It's just that, you know, we often feel like we're making our own choices, but really a lot of it is conditioning. And this is relevant to this question because when you say about changing patterns or continuing to live with it, it depends on if the pattern is pure, you know, of you at your essence. And the way we figure this out is, you know, through learning our values, you know, learning who we are at our core, you know, what kind of things are really, really important to us, you know, and what it is that, you know, makes us happy, you know. And like a good example of this is if your values are honesty, or adventure, or freedom, or kindness, you know. And if your patterns that you're talking about in this specific case do not infringe upon your ability to express your values, then that's a good thing. But if they do, then maybe it's time to change the pattern, you know. So we have some patterns that could be perceived as positive, and some patterns that could be perceived as negative. But both need to change sometimes, you know. Something that serves us in one moment is not necessarily going to serve us in the next, you know. So just because something feels positive for you now, like maybe getting up and doing exercise every morning, maybe for a while that will serve you, but then 3 months after doing it, you'll start feeling tired from it, you know. So it's like we have to be flexible within our patterns. So really it's about connecting with your values, you know, connecting with who you are at your core, you know, connecting with what it is that matters to you. And this can be done through spiritual practice like meditation, you know, different ways of silencing the mind, you know, taking walks, you know, really going in, you know. But I think importantly is like having the intention, you know, having intention to go in, to discover, you know, to discover more about yourself, you know. And then when you have this strong intention to discover about yourself, you'll find out more, and then you'll start to notice the patterns that do need to change, because a lot of like destructive, you know, addictions and all these kind of things can really be detrimental to our growth and what it is that we want to do and who it is that we are at our core. So yes, it is possible. It is possible to change patterns, but I think sometimes it's important to figure out, it's to go back to the root and figure out what it is that you should change and what it is that you shouldn't change, and then you can have a better framework to work from, and you can do this by, as I said, going in, looking at your values and all this kind of stuff. So I hope that's been helpful for you. And if you like this video, please subscribe below, and once you subscribe there can be a little thing which you click which will help you to get notifications every time I shoot a video. That'd be awesome if you do that too. Yeah, much love for coming along to this video. I'm going to be doing plenty more of them, and I'll speak to you very soon.